So somebody had the audacity. They were like, well, if you think that you're so smart, why don't you write a Blade script? I'll do you one better. I'll give you an entire premise for a Blade film that Marvel can you can take it from me for free. I'm giving you the outline. All you have to do is fill in the middle bits. Let's begin. Our story begins in 1943 with the collapse of Hydra due to the attack by Captain America. Adolf Hitler has decided to basically abandon that side of his occult research. He now puts all of his funding into the Shadow Council. The Shadow Council are a group of vampires that promise not only to bring Dracula back from the dead, but give the Third Reich the control that they need by ushering in an eternal night. An eternal night that is ruled by Dracula with Adolf Hitler at its figurehead and an eternal army of vampire soldiers. Blade and the original Black Knight, Dane Whitman's uncle, can't remember his name, they basically stop this. They go in, they fight their way to where the ceremony is essentially taking place, and they are able to stop the Shadow Council from resurrecting Dracula and ushering in the Eternal Night. However, Dane's uncle basically succumbs to the curse of the Ebony Blade, and he essentially dies. Blade returns the Ebony Blade to the Whitman family, and then he goes on essentially on his journey killing vampires throughout Europe. We then jump forward to the end of Eternals. At the end of Eternals, we have Blade visiting the younger Dane Whitman, and he tells him, you don't want to pick up that blade because the blade is cursed. It was cursed by Dracula a long time ago to basically kill off the members of your family, because it is the only blade that can actually put an end to Dracula and kill him. Dane, needing the power because he needs the power to basically go and save Cersei, decides to journey with Blade to not only figure out what's going on with Dracula, the Eternal Night, and the Shadow Council, but hopefully master the power so that he can find Arishem and save the woman that he loves. Blade and Dane then begin to pull different pieces apart to discover what exactly is going on in the shadows of Europe and where they're attempting to resurrect Dracula this time. They discover something extremely crucial. When Khonshu reversed the stars last year in Egypt to essentially aid Moon Knight in defeating that other god, he accidentally set the stars back to an alignment that they needed in order to resurrect Dracula. As a direct result, Blade and Dane meet up with Moon Knight in Istanbul and gain his assistance because it is his job to protect travelers traveling at night in defeating Dracula. However, this is exactly what they wanted because now they know they also have the location of both Dane Whitman and the Ebony Blade. Both of these individuals are essentially kidnapped, and Blade and Moon Knight have to team up and go to Transylvania, where the ceremony is essentially taking place. They both get on a ship or get on a plane or get on a fucking train. I don't really care. Marvel is free to choose. And they go up to Transylvania. On their way up there, they fight off multiple members of the Shadow Council that are SS soldiers that were turned over 60 years ago that Blade is essentially familiar with. Arriving too late, the Eternal Night essentially begins. The entire planet is engulfed in darkness. Don't worry, the MCU people are 100% okay with crazy shit happening. We have Eternals, Celestials reaching out of the freaking ocean, and a bunch of other stuff. Look, they're shell shocked. So the Eternal Night's just basically nothing to them. Moon Knight and Blade fight their way to the main ceremony. Dracula comes back, and both of them are easily dispatched. Realizing that Blade is about to die, and realizing that Blade is about to die and he needs the extra boost, Moon Knight tells Khonshu to basically make Blade his temporary avatar of the night. Khonshu goes over to Blade, Blade accepts, he gets the power boost, and then Dane Whitman tosses him the Ebony Blade, and then Blade gets to work. Dracula and Blade have a gigantic fucking battle that takes them all across Dracula's castle, and then Blade is finally able to pierce Dracula's heart with the Ebony Blade and kill him once and for all. Upon the death of Dracula using the Ebony Blade, the curse is broken, and the souls of all the other members of the Whitman family that have wielded the Ebony Blade are finally free to rest. Moon Knight, saying thank you, bows out, takes his ass back to Egypt because he has other things he needs to take care of, mainly Layla. Dane Whitman returns to college campus in fucking England, and then Blade hears of this new vampire that isn't a curse but is an actual organic vampire in America and decides to go to America to find out what the fuck is a Morbius. Upon Dane essentially arriving at college, because of the curse now being broken, the connection between the blade and Thena, who made the blade, is reestablished, and Thena steps through a portal and tells Dane, I need you to come with me because of your psychic link with Cersei. You're going to be the one that's essentially going to lead us to the World Forge, where we can rescue Cersei and put an end to Arisham's madness. Jumping forward, back to fucking Blade. Blade arrives in America, and he discovers that there is indeed a man who has somehow turned himself into a bat without the curse of Dracula and has begun to hunt for Morbius. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You can fill in the blanks from beginning to end. You can space it out. Boost that bitch up in some way, shape, or form. Add a little bit of flavor, some more seasoning, some stuff. It's easy. You just put some great fights in there. I would go and hire the choreographer team from like the fucking Raid or something to like do the fights, the fight scenes. I'd be happy. It's easy. It's not that difficult. We didn't have to think that far. Oh my god, it's not inside the MCU. You could have made it happen on like a different Earth. We'd be like, yay, it kind of looks as though it's the MCU, but it's not really the MCU. It's like if the MCU's Earth 1 and this is happening on like Earth 2. Well, that's DC thing. It's like if it's happening on 616 and this is basically like 617 or like 615, you know, it's like the differences aren't really that major, but they're loosely tied into what's going on. It's easy. Like, it's not that hard. It pisses me off so much that we're not getting a Blade film. Like, I'm so mad at that fact because of how easy I know it could be and how many stories I know you could adapt. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about my little oh my god, it's more like a rant than anything. It's just, I hated that fucking comment, and I hate YouTube for like the filter system, because before I could even respond to it and I tried to get to it, I couldn't, but I knew it was there because the comment count was higher, but I just couldn't see that one dude's comment. Like, I don't know whether or not he deleted it or like the YouTube filter thing like got it, because sometimes I know that happens, but that shit just low-key pissed me off. But yeah, I'll catch you next one. Peace.